Hey guys, it's your girl Wisdom. Like, share, subscribe. I just had a extremely vivid dream, and I didn't want any time to go past before I told you. I felt like I just didn't want. I felt like I just needed to tell you now this dream. So I'm just waking up. All I did was take out the dogs and come back in and sit down. So let's get started. I was in Cleveland, Ohio. I know I was in Cleveland. And it was like, let me start from the beginning, before it got crazy. So in the beginning of the dream, I was in a beauty salon, and Method Man came in selling seeds. Method Man, right? So in my dream, he was just a regular guy, but so it wasn't like he was Method Man. You get what I'm saying? He was a regular guy. But in my dream, he had a big gigantic box of seeds, like how I've been selling seeds, right? So he came into the beauty salon and he was selling seeds to the like owner of the salon, and you could tell it was something he had been doing for a while, because like the lady that owned the salon, she was like, yeah, I just want my regular, like maybe some arugula, maybe some matter of fact, I probably should not be in this room telling this dream because I have not had good reception in here in days. So let me get out of here. I am gonna get up and get out of bed. So it was like, she had a regular order for seeds. You know what I mean? So he was like, you want some seeds? And then she was like, yeah, I want like some arugula, some cucumbers, and she was just saying what type of seeds she wanted. And at that point, I literally, now mind you, I live in rural Kentucky, okay? And I used to live in Cleveland, Ohio. And when you were down on your luck, I'm about to cry. Ugh. When you were down on your luck, you could do things that our community, like such as go to the barber shop and sell dinners, or sell Easter baskets at the that the barber shop and the beauty salon was a way that you, when you were down on your luck, you could go there and basically get your hustle on. You get what I'm saying? I've been known to do such a thing. So when I saw Method Man in the beauty salon, in my dream, I thought, man, that, like, I miss being able to do that. Like here, I'm in rural Kentucky. I don't know, like culturally, I don't know if I could just go to a beauty salon and sell things like it might not be, it might be frowned upon here. You get what I'm saying? But in Cleveland, Ohio, at the barbershop beauty salon, you could survive if you didn't have a job, okay? So that was the feeling in the dream, was that something about survival, if you don't have a job, was a big feeling there. Like, we got to figure out how to survive. It felt like a survival moment, right? But long story short, it was Method Man. Remember that, okay? So the person that was selling stuff in the salon was Method Man, okay? So I was just so like, okay, but at this point, I look at Method Man and I'm just kind of like, not much. He wasn't Method Man, like famous Method Man. He was like a regular man selling things in the salon, but he looked just like Method Man. You get what I'm saying? So I look at him and I start thinking, man, maybe I could sell him my seeds, right? Because he's in the barbershop already selling seeds. So I then say to him, hey, I got seeds. And then he was like, yeah, I'm already selling here. And then I was like, no, I'm saying I'll sell you my seeds for half price and be your connect for seeds. Like, this is real life. This is the way we talking in this beauty salon. And so he gives me his phone number. All right. Then the scene changes where I'm in school, like high school. Okay, like what's up with that? I'm real far out of high school. And it was like this constant feeling of rejection. Maybe that's what, oh, I'm about to cry. Maybe that's why. Because it was literally like I was the nerd, I was alone, you know, there was a cool crowd. They didn't want to mess with me. Uh, there was white crowds, there was black crowds, but it was like I was the outcasts of the school, you know, not of the school, because that's not the case. It didn't feel like of the school. It just felt like there was something about me that everybody else didn't vibe with. You get what I'm saying? Like, and later on in the dream I could figure out why, because the reason why I'm telling you this dream now is because y'all will see, let me keep going. So I'm basically by myself most of the dream. You know, I'm looking around at everybody else living their lives in the school, and they're doing cool things. There's the cool crowd, the white crowd, there's the cool crowd, there's the just different, I don't know how to explain it. It was just different crowds. All right, there we go. So you could tell I was a part of this crowd where, it was like I wasn't even a part of a crowd. I was a loner, but you could tell they were just like, you talking about her, her. That was the way it felt. Then an explosion happened. Something horrific where the ground shook. It felt like an explosion. Okay. And now, mind you, remember, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, I don't live in Cleveland no more, y'all. I live in Kentucky, but I'm downtown Cleveland, Ohio. And it was after school, and some type of explosion happened. And they started blocking off the city. But in my dream, I felt like it wasn't like they were blocking off the city just for the explosion. No, no, no. I'm about to cry. It felt like they were hurting the children. Like it felt like they were hurting us away from our homes. Like we couldn't go back there, but it felt like they were hurting us to kill us. And I felt it in my soul, even though I was like the one they didn't pay attention to. I knew what they were doing. I knew that they were hurting us to kill us. And nobody else knew. Everybody else was just like, it was like the movie Warriors for everybody else. They just like, yeah, we going this way. All right, yeah. It was like they didn't realize that these people were hurting us to kill us. Like the explosion was fake or was created, but the explosion was a distraction for the fact that they were hurting us to our deaths, to be lost. That's really what it felt too. Cause like if you wasn't gonna be killed, I don't know, I didn't know if we were gonna be killed or what at that point, but I knew they were deliberately making sure we got lost. And at this point, now this is when I really know that it's Cleveland, right? Because now I'm getting pushed into a location where I know it's not safe. Like, I know that we either gonna get killed, raped, stabbed, something bad about to happen. And then I'm like, no, I can't let this happen because the further they make us get from home, we won't ever be able to get back home. Yeah, you could tell last night was a full moon because I'm telling you, it felt like I was in a different dimension. Like I lived this. I felt like I lived this last night. So then I refused to do it. Like after a while, like first I'm letting them herd me with everyone else. But I'm like, nah, there gotta be a back alley somewhere. Internet bad. They don't want me to tell you this. Let me get over here now. So I feel like I gotta break free from this hurting so that I could think. Okay. And I start like asking people, like, just trying to keep my um what's that called, where you kind of know north, south, east, west, my equilibrium, just trying to keep my thoughts on, okay, I know that should be Cleveland. That should. They don't want me to tell you this because I'm telling you, when I get to the end, you'll understand why I know somebody don't want me to tell you this, because I don't even care about this kind of stuff. All right, I want you to know that I'm not sitting around like, don't get me wrong. I love being black. I love being me. But at the same point, I ain't the one that's sitting around like they did this to. No, honestly, I'm trying to just survive. I got my farm here. I'm just trying to survive. So I'm not like, when y'all see the depth. You talk, y'all. All right, so I'm trying to stay as close to this to the modem as possible. So I know what it feels like for the slaves, because it was like I was trying to keep my, like, okay, that's that way. That's that way. If they keep pushing me this way, I'm never gonna find that way again. Please stop. And then, so I was doing everything in my power to know where, keep my equilibrium about me, because they were doing this on purpose. They were moving us on purpose, and you could feel that it was like they were making it to where we won't know how to get back home. So then I I there was a Jewish lady, like the not real Jewish, you get what I'm saying, like Russian Jewish or something like that. But she was an old lady. I mean, she was dressed like Aunt Jemima. Like, she was an old Jewish lady, but she was dressed like Aunt Jemima. Real talk. I'm talking about big booty and all. Big booty, big boobs, just like Aunt Jemima. Real talk. And she like, now remember, the whole dream I was being rejected, treated bad, like outcast, the whole dream. Then this Jewish lady out the blue. No, let me back up just a little bit, because I yelled out, I gotta get back to Cleveland Heights. I gotta get back to Cleveland Heights. Now, that's where I lived back in Cleveland. I lived in South Euclid, which is an extremely Jewish neighborhood, to where, like, our kids get Jewish holidays off. It's extremely Jewish neighborhood, okay? The other kind of Jewish, right? So when I say that, this lady looks at me like I told you, the lady, she's a Jewish lady, but she dressed like Aunt Jemima. Real talk. And she then, when I say Cleveland Heights, she like, oh, baby, you one of us. Come on, baby. Come on, baby, get over here. Now, she's a white lady, like Russian white lady looking, you know what I mean? But you one of us. Come on, baby. I'ma hide you. Like, she started doing some Underground Railroad with me. You get what I'm saying? Like, she took me in this beautiful house, and it was like all the rejection that I had been dealing with out there. It was like something with the color of my hair or something about me that made her go, no, we gotta protect this one. We gotta get this one. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. And they took me in this back room, like for the night. Like, it was like I was gonna rest and think there. You know what I mean? And she brought me food, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It felt like, man, and I'll tell you, I don't even think like this. So this should let you know it's true. It felt like when somebody got your stuff, real talk, that's what it felt like. It felt like it, so it didn't feel like she was being so gracious. No, it felt in the dream like she had my stuff. And it was literally like she knew it. But don't get me wrong. In the dream, it was like I didn't know it. You get what I'm saying? I want you to know that's weird. It's hard to explain. Have you ever had somebody steal something from you? You know what I mean? And then they sitting there eating with, like, let's say this yours. Let's say this yours, okay? And they literally be like, girl, oh, use some of this. Yes, girl, that's the good stuff. Use some of that. You know what I mean? That was the way it was, the way you using it, but there's a feeling that you like, this mine? That was the feeling. That was the feeling. Ain't this mine? And then after I left there, it was like the sky was a crazy orange. I don't know if it was because it was sundown. I don't know. No, it did. It felt just like the world felt different, right? And when I got out of there, it was like after that, it was just a rat race of running, trying to get back to Cleveland Heights, trying to get back to Cleveland Heights. And I made it back to Cleveland Heights, right? It was like you could tell in the dream, like, oh, that's another thing. In the dream, the world, like when it first happened, it was crowds of people. Like we were side by side, side by side. Couldn't, it was so many of us, so many people being displaced. But by the end of the dream, it was like a ghost town. It was like a person here, person there, person here. You get what I'm saying? So that part of the dream was a whole lot of running, but I finally made it back to Cleveland Heights. But by the time I got back to Cleveland Heights, it was a ghost town. Okay. But the lady's house was like up on a hill. It was definitely in a actual position of a high place. Okay. Reason why I know this, God did this on purpose in this dream, I could tell her house was on a high place. And Charlie Wilson, I know, like, what's going on with this? He had a hood bar next to her house. Real talk. So Uncle Charlie, okay, Charlie Wilson had a hood bar next to her house. So his bar was here, her house was here, but they were right next door to each other. You get what I'm saying? To where her house was all the way up on the hill like this, and his Charlie Wilson spot was down here. Okay, remember it's still a ghost town though. You know what I mean? It ain't like there's a lot of people running around. It's like I'm looking at two buildings, right? And while I'm looking at her house, I felt God say. Now remember, like the reason why I know it was God, because I don't think about this kind of stuff like this. Yeah, I know they stole it. Yeah, I know all that. But at the same point, we made it. We made it. Like we're here. We made it. We got money. We got cars. We fine. Like we made it. I don't think about it like that. Y'all, God literally said in my dream, you need to go up there, knock on her door and tell her that you know that she stole your stuff. That she wasn't really being nice to you in the beginning of that dream. You got to go up there and tell her that you know. Man, it was like, I can't even explain it. It was like he just said, you got to go up there and tell her. You got to let her know that you know that she stole your house. That she stole, and it wasn't even your house. It was like she stole your neighborhood. That was it. The feeling wasn't even, because I didn't want the house. The house felt dirty. You know what I mean? It didn't feel right. The house felt like a high place. You get what I'm saying? The house felt like a high place. It was scary. I didn't want to go up there. But God said, you got to tell her you know. Either way it go, tell her you know. And so the reason why I say that is because I walked up the hill and I stood there, and that's when I looked down at Charlie Wilson's spot. Like, I was looking at it, and I was literally like, they thought they did us dirty, but Charlie Wilson got a spot here. Uncle Charlie got a spot here. We gonna be okay. I got a spot here. They thought they was gonna diminish us, but we got a spot here. And I don't remember knocking on the door, to tell you the truth. I think I don't, by this point, I know I was scared to go up there, but by the time I got up there, it wasn't that I was scared then. I just sat there on that lady porch looking at our neighborhood going, man, regardless of what happened to all the people, it feel good to know. It feel good to know, like, yo, who you are, where you're from, and that you made it home. It was like that moment. Y'all don't understand what it mean to be black, man. Y'all don't, cause y'all know y'all where your family come from. Poland. They were the first immigrants out of Poland or London or Scotland. We know. We don't know where our people from at all. Nobody. Like, no, I don't. All black people could say, if they're not educated, they could say Africa. That's all. That's a continent. That, you get what I'm saying? That's a whole continent. You can't say a place if you black where you from. You can't say a place. You just from down south. You get what I'm saying? That's all you can say. Cleveland Heights. Up north. Out west. You can't get past your great grandmother. You get what I'm saying? Like I only know of my great grandma. I can't take you back to Africa. I can't no, I don't know who I am past my great great grandmother. That's it. As far as it go. And she was a slave. And that's all we know. We don't know no further. I know God did this to me to make me care. Cause I'm telling you, I sat there on that porch and it was this feeling of I know who I am. And I can't tell you the type of relief it felt like. It was I know who I am. I can't tell y'all the feeling. I can't tell y'all the feeling. Thank you, my love. Thank you, fam, for being there. I can't tell y'all that feeling. You already know it. I bet you already know it. You know, just think where your family came from. You already know. But to have that moment where you never knew, and now you sitting on this lady porch that you know stole your whole neighborhood, but treated you like, and that's another thing. She treated me like gold when she brought me into her house. But it wasn't like, no, don't get me wrong. So if this dream is prophetic in any kind of way, children watch out, cause they did in the dream. It was like the people that knew who you were treated you like gold, like you was a lucky rabbit's foot, baby. Real talk. It was as if you was the one that they knew, like, don't touch this one. Let's be good to her through the chaos. We'll keep her safe in the room. We'll feed her good, but don't mess with this one. Was the feeling. So this lady was good to me. Let's not act like the lady was like, even though, yeah, I felt in my soul that there was something off about this situation. Let's be real. The lady in the high place house, you could tell she was basically feeding me my food, feeding me my stuff. You could feel it, but it was in I wouldn't even say maybe even a guilty kind of way. I don't even know. It felt guilty. It felt like you need something. Well, you need some lotion for your hands. All right, baby, whatever you need. She was dressed like Aunt Jemima, for God's sake. You know what I'm saying? Like it was weird to where, like, and that's another thing. She was dressed. Listen to that. I ain't even noticed that until right now. She was dressed like Aunt Jemima, sitting next to Uncle Charlie Wilson's house. Y'all know we call him Uncle Charlie. My name is Charlie. Last name Wilson. Him. Uncle Charlie's house. I mean, bar. That's another thing. He ain't had no house. He had a hood corner store type of bar. Real talk. He had a hood corner store bar. But she had a house on a high place. It was chaos in Cleveland. It was a diversionary tactic. Get you lost. It was for a reason to get you lost. Saying that it's, I mean, I do, but I don't think like it. Like, I don't even feel like God need to give me retribution or anything like that. I've always felt like God done kept us. He kept us. Regardless on what the truth is, God kept us. We good. I'm okay. But I'm telling y'all, by the end of this dream, it felt like God was saying, "Yeah, yeah, I know you okay, baby, but I care. Like, no, no, I know you don't know, baby, but yeah, I care." That's the way it felt. That's the way it felt. It felt vindicated. It felt. But I will tell you this. There also felt like some young, like there was young people. I don't know if they were where they were taking all them people. Remember, I got away from the ones that were being corralled somewhere, being herded somewhere. I got away from them. Like I dipped off, and that's how I ended up in the lady's house, which was my house. Um, so I don't know. But I know something, and I know it was Cleveland, and I know that there was an explosion. But that explosion was a diversionary tactic to get you lost. That's what I know. And so if something ever happened like that, where there's some big old explosion and they trying to herd you somewhere quickly and they won't let you stop and think or find a way to get from amongst the crowd so you could think. You know what I mean? Because that's the major part of that dream too, was the fact that people who didn't care about you. Remember, in the dream, I was being at the beginning of the dream, I was being totally rejected, totally like I was the person people they didn't, like I stink or something. I don't know, like I was Urkel or something. I don't know, but I'm telling you, I was being hurted by people who didn't like me. You get what I'm saying? That so I want you to know that is that don't just follow. Don't just follow. Cause I don't know what happened to those people. And that's another thing. I really feel like whatever was about to happen to those people was bad, bad. You get what I'm saying? They were either getting sold into slavery. I knew this was an emotional night. I mean, honestly, it was a full moon, so I know that dream came hard. That dream came deep in my soul. And I know that maybe this is so that I will believe. Like, don't get me wrong, I know. You know what I mean? I know God has done enough for me to know that we really are his chosen people. He's done enough. I've watched him make people around me lucky. Real talk. Now, mind you, I don't be as lucky, but the people around me be lucky. You get what I'm saying? Like if somebody do good to me, I watch them flourish job after job. They amazing. Somebody do bad to me, I watch it all fall apart. So I know that God doing something there. You get what I'm saying? I've watched it. But it was like in this moment, I don't know, it felt like God was doing restitution. I felt like he cares. Like you get what I'm saying? Like where I just figure along the way, God, you'll keep me safe. If nothing else, like if I'm one of your lost tribe of Judah people, then all I ever cared about was him keeping me safe along the way. And don't let them take us and go through that damn slavery shit again, please, God. For our kids, please. Please. That was the feeling. That was the scary part. Don't let that happen to our kids, because that's what it was. It was in school. Remember, I was in school. I ain't see that many older people. I was a teenager. Don't let that happen to our kids again, Father, please. If you can, please. So that's the kind of way I've always felt, is that he just keep us safe. That we'll live off the serendipity of God. That he say, go here, we go here. He say, go there, we go there. I was ready for that. But in this dream felt like God himself was saying, no, I'm going to do a little bit more than just protect you. I'm going to expose you. That's the way it felt. That's the way it felt. Felt like he cared. Like where I'm literally like, don't tell him. I'm feeling in my soul like they ain't got to know who I am. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like God said at the end of the dream, y'all, God said, walk up there and tell them who you are. And I just did not want to deal with that shit. I please forgive me, forgive me. I'm so real. I'm a person. I'm a person. I'm a real person. But I was looking at that lady house and I was just like, I don't even want to deal with it, God. I don't even want to deal with this mess. He just made me say, you gotta go up there and tell them what they did. You gotta walk your butt up there and tell them that you know. And I'm telling you, I got to the top of the stair and I looked down and I saw Charlie Wilson's house, like his bar, his business, his place of business. And I stood there and I thought, even though they tried to hold us down, we still made it to the neighborhood. You know what I mean? That's the way I was looking at Charlie Wilson. I was like, Uncle Charlie made it to the neighborhood, though. That's the way I was looking. He made it. Yeah, this was a lot. Like, this was running from slavery. This was a deep dream. This was deep. Stay safe. I don't got nothing else to say. I love y'all. God is definitely about to show. I hear you, Father. He said, I'm going to prove to them that I loved you. That's what he said.